I'm really delighted today to share this morning with all of you. I want to congratulate the entire team of ASER and our partners for a fantastic 10-year journey. I remember when ASER was first thought of in Pratham, I wasn't very sure as to what impact it would have, ASER would have created. Because at that time it was an idea. Madhav and Rukmini, of course, were very convinced that this is what was needed. And I think when you look back over the 10 years, it has been a great journey. Having covered 577 districts last year with 5.8 lakh children, and thousands of volunteers doing this is a great job done. And I just want to congratulate and thank each one of you who has contributed to this. When ASER began, its results were not really well accepted, challenged a lot of what the thinking then was. And the only way to challenge that is by giving data which can be relied upon, which was, I'm sure, checked, rechecked many times, challenged a lot, but yet we have been able to today make a credible contribution to education. Pratham started, and our mission then was to see that every child is in school. I think that is now more or less covered. We then changed the mission to say that every child should be in school and learning well. That's what ASER is also showing, that that is a mission which a lot more has to be done. In the last 10 years, if you see, in the field of education, we have, as a country, achieved quite a few things. Yes, now almost all children are in school. There has been a significant improvement, if I may say, in terms of the facilities, as we saw earlier, that schools have provided. But a lot more needs to be done. I'm glad that with ASER coming into the picture, the conversation, even with government, has moved towards more output than just input. Input was required at a certain stage. I think it is output which is now required to see what the really school learning levels are. And that is, I'm glad that that conversation has started. But what more needs to be done? In my view, it is a disturbing trend that in spite of so much of money going in the government, yet people still want to go to private schools. And this trend is only increasing. I know that in my own house, I see some of the domestic help is there. They spend 20–30% of their annual salary just to see that their children go to private schools. And I don't understand why that should be there when we are putting in so much of resource into the public school system. That needs to be changed, and we need to work to see that. Learning levels, you've seen what the output has been, and there is a deterioration in learning levels in spite of facilities improving, in spite of the number of teachers increasing in public schools. And that is again another question that we need to address today. Dropout levels still are high, especially as you go beyond standard 8. Again, if we want to be a progressive nation, if we want to be a developed nation, we need children to continue to remain in school. I think these are the big challenges that we need to address. I'm glad that today ASER has got a certain credibility with the government. Whenever we see the economic surveys, we do find that ASER is quoted and government is now taking it seriously. I hope that as we go ahead, these are some of the issues, as I said, whether it is the movement into moving from public schools to private schools, learning outcomes and dropout rates. I think these need to be addressed. Perhaps one or two suggestions I had in this. One of the reasons we found that school learning levels do not go up is because of the leadership in the schools. When you see the headmasters, they are in mostly virtually senior teachers who've become headmasters in public schools. And they haven't got enough of a training to be a leader. We've seen that in other areas. It is the leadership that makes the difference. Whether it is in a business, whether it is in politics, whether it's in a social organization, it is the leadership that makes the difference. So why not in schools? Why can't we equip our leaders, the headmasters, better? That's a question that we need to address. Why can't we make the district education officers who are supposed to provide leadership, but unfortunately are always busy in just doing administrative facilities, why can't we equip them better? Or the diet officers. I think those are questions that we need to address. How can we use technology? Technology is a great leveler. How can we use it to improve learning outcomes is what we all need to consider. I want to also congratulate both Rukmini and Madhav. They have been steering this and leading this for the last 10 years. They've done a tremendous job, put in a lot of effort and passion. So well done. And thank you very much.